Okay, let's talk about dot underscore underscore proto or dunder proto versus the dot prototype property. Now, there's a lot of confusions on this. Okay, what is dot underscore underscore proto? This is access on all instances. Let's review what instances are. If you have an array, this array will be instance of its constructor. Okay. Also, if you do ar.constructor, it will tell you, hey, my constructor is this array. So if something is an instance, that means it has the dot underscore underscore proto. So if I do ar dot underscore underscore proto, this will actually give me the prototype of all array instances. So let's say const, let's say prototype of arrays is equal to that. Okay. So now prototypes of arrays, this is going to be equal to array.prototype. Now, this is where the confusion sets in. What is array.prototype? Well, in order to even have a dot prototype property, the thing to the left of the dot has to be a constructor function. Okay. Now, capital array is a built-in constructor function, so it has the dot prototype. But what does dot prototype actually mean? Dot prototype on a constructor just means that, hey, this will be where the prototype object lives for all of the array constructors instances. Okay. So that's why when you do an instance dot underscore underscore proto, which returns the real prototype for instances, it will match with capital array dot prototype. Okay. Now, this does not mean that the constructor's prototype is also array dot prototype, which a lot of people think it is, but it's not. Okay. How do we find the prototype of capital array? Well, you can do the dot underscore underscore proto. Huh. But why does this have a dot underscore proto property? Isn't it only accessible on instances? Well, built-in constructors like capital array, object number, whatever, they're actually instances of the function constructor. So if you do array instance of function, you're going to see that it's true. Okay. Now, since array is an instance now, that means its real prototype is accessible on dot underscore underscore proto. Array dot underscore underscore proto. Now, this would be strictly equal to function dot prototype. And that's true. Okay. Now, what does function prototype actually have on it? Let's do object dot get own property descriptors, and we're going to pass in function dot prototype. Okay. So from function prototype, here are all the methods and properties that capital array has. So if you do capital array dot name, it actually exists. Okay. But you cannot do an instance array dot name. It's undefined. Okay. Because the array constructor, capital array, its true prototype is function dot prototype. So it can borrow all of these methods. Okay. Its prototype is not array dot prototype. Look, if you do this, array dot prototype, it's actually false. Okay. And we know its true prototype is not array dot prototype because you cannot do something like array dot map or array dot filter. Okay, it's undefined. Okay. This method lives on the prototype property of the constructor, but it doesn't live on the real prototype object of the constructor. Okay. Now, does that mean that things like number also have a dot name? Yes, because everything was created by function dot prototype. Right? So array dot proto even object dot proto. Even things like Boolean dot proto. Okay. So once again, a constructor, every single built-in constructor has a property called dot prototype. And that property holds an object which represents the true prototype for all the instances of that constructor. But that constructor's true prototype itself cannot be accessed by using dot prototype. You either have to use dot underscore underscore proto, or you can do something like object dot get prototype of. Okay. And then if we do Boolean, it's going to be equal to function.prototype. Yes. Okay. So object.getPrototype of is the new way and the safer way to get true prototypes for all instances. Okay. For constructor functions, once again, remember the dot prototype property is not its prototype. It's instances prototypes. Okay, I hope that was helpful.